For decades, it was just a rumor, an aircraft that never flew, never appeared in public, and quietly disappeared. But now, China has confirmed the existence of the mysterious J-9 fighter jet project. Why does it matter? Because this forgotten prototype introduced innovations that helped shape the J-10 and even the stealthy J-20. In this video, we uncover how a canceled jet became the foundation of China's modern aviation power. In May 1970, a train quietly departed from Shenyang in northeast China, carrying over 300 people and a mission few knew existed. Its destination was Chengdu, a city in China's southwest, and on board were scientists, engineers, and technicians, handpicked to carry out a project that would mark the beginning of China's modern fighter aircraft innovation. This group would go on to form the nucleus of the Chengdu Aircraft Design and Research Institute, later known as the 611 Institute. Their task? To develop a high-performance fighter jet called the J-9, a name shrouded in mystery for decades. At the time, China's aviation industry was heavily dependent on older Soviet-era designs. Although aircraft such as the J-7 and J-8 existed, they were largely adapted from foreign platforms. The goal of the J-9 was different. It was to be fully indigenous, reflecting China's ambition to shift from replication to innovation. This wasn't just about designing a better aircraft. It was about taking control of the country's future in the skies. The team settled in an old flight school in Chengdu and began work in isolation. Despite limited resources, their ambition was sky-high. They weren't just trying to match global standards, they wanted to set them. The project would serve as the first real test of whether China could build a next-generation fighter completely from scratch. The J-9's development went through several technical studies and design revisions. It was imagined as a high-altitude, high-speed interceptor with cutting-edge flight characteristics. Even though no working prototype ever reached full production, the research phase itself led to a series of breakthroughs that fundamentally changed how fighter aircraft were conceptualized in China. Ultimately, the J-9 project was halted due to a combination of technological limitations, economic challenges, and shifting defense priorities. However, the program's cancellation didn't erase its value. Instead, it marked a turning point for the Chengdu Institute. While the J-9 never entered production, its development resulted in two critical breakthroughs that would have a lasting impact on China's aviation progress: the pioneering Canard configuration and the development of a dedicated interception weapon system. These were not minor tweaks. They were foundational innovations that redefined how China approached modern fighter design. Let's start with the Canard configuration. During the J-9's design phase, the Chengdu Institute engineers proposed something bold: attaching small, movable forewings in front of the main wings to improve maneuverability and lift. This was virtually unheard of at the time, not just in China, but globally. According to Xiep Pin, a senior engineer involved in the project, there was no direct international precedent. The closest design on the world stage was Sweden's Saab 37, which used fixed canards. But China's version was different. It featured movable, controllable canards, allowing for dynamic adjustments during flight. This innovation improved aerodynamic efficiency, especially in high angle of attack situations. The added lift from the canards enabled better turning performance, reduced stall risk, and enhanced agility. Though it never flew on the J-9, the concept proved so successful that it was later implemented on both the J-10 and J-20, where it remains a defining design characteristic. What began as an experiment on a canceled aircraft eventually became standard across China's most advanced fighter jets. Equally groundbreaking was the J-9's interception weapon system. At the time, China's mainstay fighters, like the J-8, still relied primarily on internal guns for aerial engagement, with missiles treated as secondary tools. The J-9 flipped that doctrine. The Chengdu team designed it to be a missile-first interceptor, emphasizing beyond visual range, BVR, combat. By prioritizing missiles over guns, the J-9 became a conceptual leap in how aerial engagements were understood within China's defense circles. It forced a shift toward advanced sensors, radar-guided targeting, and electronic warfare systems. These elements are now core components of China's modern aerial platforms, but they first appeared, at least on the drawing board, inside the J-9's framework. Even though the aircraft was never built, the ideas at birth were too powerful to be forgotten. The J-9's contributions aren't just technical, they're cultural. When the J-9 project was eventually shelved, it could have easily faded into obscurity. But instead, it became a model for how China would approach future aircraft development, not just in terms of engineering, but also in organizational philosophy. The experience of working on the J-9 triggered a fundamental transformation inside the Chengdu Institute, and that transformation still shapes China's aerospace strategies today. One of the most critical outcomes was the establishment of a long-term, multi-generation development strategy. Instead of focusing on a single aircraft at a time, the Chengdu Institute began developing new fighters in overlapping stages. This forward-thinking approach meant that even as one jet neared completion, ideas for its successor were already being studied, and long-term concepts for future designs were being explored. This mindset wasn't theoretical. It was put into practice when Xie Pin, following the J-9 experience, proposed creating a tactical performance and development research group. The goal was to continuously analyze air combat strategies, predict future battlefield requirements, and develop tactical models for aircraft that didn't yet exist. Song Winsong, who would go on to design the J-10, fully supported this initiative. He directed the team to generate several new concept designs each year, ideas that could later evolve into real aircraft. These studies laid the groundwork for what would become the J-10, China's first modern multi-role fighter designed from scratch, and later the J-20, a stealth-capable platform that now symbolizes China's push into fifth-generation air dominance. It's no exaggeration to say that without the J-9, these platforms may have been delayed by years, or may never have taken their current form. Beyond technology, the J-9's greatest legacy is perhaps how it reshaped thinking. It instilled a culture of continuous improvement and innovation, emphasizing that failure in one phase is not the end, but rather the start of something greater. The fact that a canceled aircraft with no combat record could spark decades of progress shows how valuable early experimentation can be, even when the outcome isn't immediate. Today, China's aircraft development programs are recognized for their speed, coordination, and leapfrogging capabilities. Much of that efficiency traces back to the J-9. It gave China's engineers the confidence and the framework to think generationally, not just incrementally. The J-9 never flew, but its influence took flight in every modern Chinese jet that followed. From pioneering Canard wings to reimagining missile combat, it shaped a new era of design thinking. What began as a canceled project in secrecy became the hidden blueprint behind the J-10 and J-20. Today, it's clear the J-9 wasn't a failure, it was a foundation. Its story proves that even unrealized ideas can redefine the future. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on space exploration and scientific discoveries, and don't forget to leave a comment below. Also, you can visit our website, spaceinews.com. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.